Alright everybody, welcome back. Now this part of the course I want to talk about the use of the Pathfinder tool, which is a tool that you can use to create custom shapes and paths. So what we're going to do is first we're going to go to Window and we're going to come down to Pathfinder and we're going to open it up. Now if you exit out, it kind of disappears. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to click and drag it, and you can see I'm going to snap it right in here. So whenever I need it, there it is. And if you're curious what workspace I'm using, it's the Essentials Classic workspace. Open up Pathfinder and here it is. So there's 10 different options you can use when using the Pathfinder tool. I'm gonna go over all of them, but there's only the first 5 that I think are the most important. So let's get into it. Now, the first option is the Unite option, which is this one right here. And basically all that does is just it combines whatever shapes you have. So in this case, let's make some more. So let's make a cloud shape. So let's take these 4 circles. We're gonna change the size. I'm holding down Shift to scale these. Let's just do this. The layer order doesn't really matter in this situation. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna select everything, click Unite, and there it is. Now it's one shape. You can go in, you can change the fill, you could change the stroke. There it is. It's one shape. All of the shapes and circles have been united into one path. So again, select everything and click Unite. Okay, moving on. So now the second option we have is the minus front. So let's go ahead and intersect these 2 circles. Now, when you have everything selected and you click minus front, what's going to happen is whatever shape is in front is going to get deleted, and the intersection of the 2 circles is going to be deleted as well. So now you're left with this crescent shape. So that's what you can do when you have minus front. Whatever shape is in front will be subtracted and deleted, and the intersection will also be subtracted as well. Okay, so now the third option is the intersect option, which just will take the intersection. So in this case, this middle part where the 2 circles intersect, when you click intersect, basically everything outside of that intersection will be deleted. So now you're left with this cool leaf shape. You can copy, paste it, rotate it, make all these fun shapes. The next option is the exclude function. So what that does is whatever the intersection is, the intersection will get deleted. The intersection is excluded. So you can see when I click this, whatever's intersected will be deleted. And then you can see, you notice that when I did that, it changed color. So what it did was it grouped it together and it changed them to be the same color. So if you ungroup them, obviously you can separate the shapes, but when you click that exclude button, it's gonna group all the shapes you have together and exclude all the intersections. And you can even see here in the toolbar, you can kind of see in the difference of color what is kind of happening. You can see that the exclusion in this tool, the center where the shapes intersect, that's what gets deleted. So the first 4 were the most important ones, the ones that I use most frequently, but we'll continue going over. So the next option would be the divide option, which just divides the shapes along the intersecting line. So wherever you intersect the shapes, it will become divided. Let me show you what I mean by that. So you click divide and you don't really see anything happen. It's still together. So when you have it's all grouped together. So what you do is you ungroup it and you'll notice that it gets quote unquote divided. The shapes become divided at the point of intersection. So now you're left with 3 shapes instead of 2, because this part where they intersected divides them into 3 different ones. Okay? Next up, we have the trim option. So when you go ahead and intersect these, what happens is it's going to get grouped again, and you'll just ungroup it. Now, whatever shape was in front, it's going to trim out whatever was behind it. Where that intersection was, it's going to trim it on the shape that was behind it. So next up is the merge function. So let's go ahead and intersect the top 2 circles. And you'll notice that when you select everything and merge it, if you have a stroke, which in this case I had strokes on these 2 circles, you can see it over here. I have the darker orange line as the stroke. This circle doesn't have a stroke, so when you merge them together, what's going to happen is all strokes will be removed, and then just like the trim option, when you ungroup it, whatever is behind it will be clipped out at the intersection when you have two different colors. Now, when you have two shapes that are the same color and you go ahead and merge them, what's going to happen is when you click merge, now all of a sudden it's one shape. You can't ungroup it because it's one shape. Let me go ahead and switch over to the stroke. You can see when you merge two similar color shapes, it merges it into one and gets rid of any strokes. Next up, we have the crop function. So when you intersect the two circles, select them and click crop. Basically what happens is it's going to crop the back circle to where it overlaps the front shape, if that makes any sense. So you're just kind of left with the shape of the leaf, but you can still see the path of the frontmost circle. So again, it's going to crop the back circle to where it overlaps the front shape. Next, we have the outline function. So when we intersect the circles, select everything and click outline. It's just going to, let's do this. It's going to just create the outlines of the circles, and you'll notice that it's grouped together. So when you ungroup them, you'll see that it's split up into each line segment. So that's what the outline function does. Every line is divided. And last but not least, the final option is the minus back option. So basically it's just going to subtract the object in the back from the frontmost object. So when you go ahead and do that, so whatever's in the back, instead of the minus front, now you're minusing the back. So whatever shape is in the back, it's going to subtract that in which it is intersected with the front shape. Okay? So pretty simple stuff. You can do some really cool things with this. I wanted to simplify it and just do circles because I think that's the best way to illustrate what you can do with these tools. But you can really do a lot with the Pathfinder. It's something I've been doing and using more recently. I hadn't used it until recently. So hopefully with this knowledge, it's just going to be another tool on your tool belt of design. See you in the next video.